G'day.
Hey, welcome back.
It's 2001.
The party bus is going to be coming back. The Australian check.
First off, praise to the Most High. Glorious you and you are the ruler, it's in you that my hope lies. Faux God, no lie, no right, I don't play both sides. Been so down with the windows down, truth music blowing at the whip so loud you repent when I roll by.
Alright guys, welcome back to another episode. We're bringing the party bus back. Last time we left it, we kind of pulled all the pulleys and all the things at the front of it off. This episode, we want to kind of put everything back on. So I don't really know all what I need to do parts-wise, so it's kind of why it's been on the back burner, but I really want to take the car out. So it's now currently on the scheduled burner. So I know I need to get the harmonic bouncer off that I have on there currently. I'm gonna put the AU one on. So I'm just gonna work out how to pull this one off because it's a bit of a weird design. And then obviously water pump. So it's got no water pump now on it, power steering pump, no alternator. I know we have to change the AC pump as well to be able to run the correct belt. So obviously these factory, they have like individual belts, and that's the reason basically why we're changing all this, is so we don't keep flinging them off. We know AU stuff works really well, so we're updating that because this thing will hopefully keep running for a long time. So that's what we want to have. I guess if the motor dies in due time, then we'll just put an AU one in, which will make all of this pointless. Stay tuned. At the moment, I'm just trying to find out. So I've got the harmonic bouncer puller, just like a universal one, but I don't know what hole it is for this. So right now I'm just kind of going through some bolts, kind of work out if that even is a bolt hole for it.
Getting a bit frustrated, bro, working blind.
It actually is. Somewhere is the hole that these go in, and I found one more, so it's two. So might be there.
It's his Crusader.
Oi. Out of here.
Really grinds his gears on a Crusader. Hey, at least I'm joking. There's people who have literally come up and was like, oh, is that a Crusader?
I guess they're technically asking. I mean, if you know anyone that has a Laurel, you'll know that when you say Crusader, they get mad. But if you know someone who has a Crusader, and someone says, nice Laurel, they're just like, oh, thanks. But deep down they know it's just a Crusader. There's like this weird love for Crusaders, but they're not even that good. On so many levels, they're so great. Hey, welcome back. I've been trying to find a damn bolt, and I finally found the bolts, finally found the holes, worked it out. So there's 3 that need to be here. Obviously a limited amount of supplies in this shed has caused me to do what I've done. So we found it, so we'll, yeah. Pry bars was not going to do the job. I see a lot of blokes on, could be girls as well, I don't know. I'm not that invested in the posts. On Club AU, and they're like using pry bars to take off the harmonic balancers, and they're just destroying the front of the engine. There's proper tools, like you can literally buy them. They might be expensive, but yeah, pry bars is not how you get harmonic balancers off these engines, because they're just too tight of a fit. So yeah, there's some information for you, might help someone. Yeah, I'm just kind of overseeing it all the time, every day. Someone's like, hey, my harmonic balancer's falling apart. Oh, I'll just rip it off. Yeah, no worries. You just do more damage than what you need to. So I think this thing's been off in it's like 20 years.
Oh, mate, she's older.
No, this is over the 20 years. I forgot how old this thing is.
Our felines are almost 20 years, mate.
Oh, not mine. Mine's 02, mate. Your old 2001 Fairlane.
Mine's 2001.
What year this is? 93.
Oh.
This is newer than my Laurel. And put it to, obviously predominantly an Australian channel. A lot of people know Bathurst when the R32 Skylines were. That was 1989. This is newer. Just imagine a GDR racing something with this ancient of suspension. Wow. No wonder the GDRs won the whole time.
Kind of makes sense.
Mate, the suspension's horrendous.
Just like that.
Filthy dog. Well, there you go. That's out. Still a bit of oil. Maybe we should change the seal. Nah, she'd be right. I think the majority of the leak was from this rocket cover gasket up here, which is not even rubber anymore. Now, I'll get into perspective because we have to change it. Like that should flex. It won't even, you can see it's like cracked enough. So yeah, so that's pouring out. Plastic doesn't seal oil, never has, never will. Okay, we're back. Sorry, couldn't help myself. Couldn't help myself. I've got the New Balancer. We're going to try and put it on. I lost my railgun, which is exciting.
I know where it is.
See it?
Hold the camera, I'll get it for you. One for you.
Look at this, very nice. See what happens, eh? People are going to be like, oh, he did this. And I'll be like, oh yeah, I did it. And it all fell apart. Then we'll know for a fact. So we're on this journey together. There's no point running that balancer on the ground because the belts fall off them all the time. So, and we're going to be sending this rig.
It's going to be living unlimited until we say goodbye to this engine.
Yeah.
Or the engine says goodbye to us.
How else would... Whatever says goodbye first.
Yeah.
It's been a long... Okay, so we've got the harmonic balancer on, which was starting to get to a bit of a concern when the teeth for the crank angle trigger, which is on the AU. Obviously this motor doesn't have it because they run it off the distributor. So I thought that maybe was going to touch something, but it looks good. So I'm going to actually just start it up before I put anything else on, just to see if it works. Not hitting anything, so we'll do that, and then we'll proceed to reseal some things, put the new water pump on, yeah, get things going.
Let's go.
Woo!
She sounds beautiful.
Oh, it looks good. You can see this motor's not going to know itself.
It'll have 5 more.
It's going to be in balance. It probably will, like that is cooked. Give it a
live action.
The Australian check. Sorry. So yeah, so AU water pump going on right now as well. So, I mean, a lot of this I just thought in my head. Obviously, experience of doing these cars is one factor, but really just going all out just to see what we can do. Yeah, because that's the main letdown of these cars. So it's working. So hopefully it keeps working, I guess. What more would you want? Okay, thought I'd add something a little bit helpful to this as well, particularly for the people that have the single overhead cam AU motor. So most likely you have, or if you haven't, you probably will soon in your AU or whatnot, but they develop a leak from the front of the engine. Now it comes from this little bad boy here. So that there is the tensioner for the chain inside. So what happens is this rubber O-ring here goes plastic and it starts leaking out there and starts pouring down the side of the motor. Bestest way, easiest way to fix it is literally get some silicone ultra grade, is what we use. Loosen it off a little bit, you don't pull it out fully. Clean it with some brake cleaner. We have, probably the only thing we have here, which is weird. Alright, you can see a little bit of oil still come out of it. straight into the new pump. Literally, this stuff is what you want to use. It's the goods. This is the. I've been using this stuff for like, how long? Like 12 years. This is what fixes stuff. Other brands I've had issues with, so this is the brand I stick with. Yeah. So we'll run a bit of a thin smear on it. Turn the light back on. And basically, as you go to tighten it in, you just run the. Get in there, boy. You feed it in as you're tightening it, if that's a word. Yeah. So obviously a little bit of oil will press out, but normally it finds its way and it'll be sweet. Obviously I just need to run a bit of, I've got to tighten it up a little bit, but you don't turn, people chuck the 14mm spanner on, that's not how you tighten it. Normally if it's leaking, they're loose. Tightening it will slow it down, but obviously not fix it because that rubber has turned to plastic. So yes.
He has the right tool.
With the right tool. Now you want to hammer this. Down. Now that'll fix your oil leak problem that happens there. So this was leaking from everything up top. So we've done that. It's actually getting there. Water pump's on, that's sealed. We're going to put the right bracket on it now. Hopefully that all goes on.
Got the front end back on, cuz.
We sure do. Yeah, it's actually come together just like I hoped it to come together, which is nice. So as you can see, alternator is in. Obviously we had to change that bracket that holds the alternator as well, as that's completely different from the V-belt type. So this is a mix of AU and EF parts. So harmonic balancer is AU. We could have used an EF one on there, but it's just harder to change if it breaks. They're just harder to change because they don't have the clip-on bits. So that's why I went with that. AU water pump or EF water pump, same thing. EF alternator with the bracket. AU/EF power steering bracket, and then obviously the pumps are the same. Then the tensioner that we're going to use has to be an EF one or X. I think it's XH. I think it's XH Ute because there's a slight different angle change on the pulley, on the tensioner pulley, so it doesn't rub on itself. To go down to the AC pump or the AC bracket. As I do have a delete bracket that can go on. Just tossing up whether to use it or not on this car. So I'll find it there, but I thought we'll finish this end, make our way over there, see what happens. Oh yeah, we're back. We're back with the party bus. I'm not feeling like entire death, which is kind of nice. I've got my ginger beer. It's not even ginger beer, my bad. Take that back.
Bro, it's an LLB, brother.
Hey, Bundaberg.
LLB.
Lemon, lime and bitters. It's actually strange. It's since cutting out all that energy stuff, I've been vibing that like even more than I ever did. But why we're here because the party bus, the pulley upgrade is in full swing and we're almost there. Get my hand light out. So, quick rundown. Pump is on. Radiator hose is on. Obviously the radiator is only a couple more for here. Everything here is good to go. Obviously a battery. We're going to go over to this side and we've got to change the AC compressor because the pulley's completely different. I might be able to change the whole thing. Just the pulley maybe. That might be too much effort. I might be able to get away with just changing the pulley, but I do have some cold compressors there, which we're not going to run aircon anyway. But
yes, we are.
No, because once we go turbs,
Yeah.
We need space for the intercooler and all that, so.
Okay.
And we're gonna have windows down, arms out.
Yep.
Not an Archie.
I'll have to sacrifice my comfort for David's enjoyment, but that's all right.
Look,
that's all right.
You're not gonna want aircon in there when it's full of smoke.
He's got a point.
That's gonna be torture. What's coming out of the vents? Oh, rubber smoke coming out of the vents. So anyway, we have some E-series compressors there. So we'll just put them on. So all we need is it for the bearing. So we're just gonna do that. All right, guys. So we've run into. It's just a bit annoying, but basically the AC pump was. I wanted to change it, but it looked a little bit difficult. I thought I can just get away with changing the pulleys over. So I wanted to put this pulley on, which is the right amount of ribs. This is the one that was on the car. So my plan was just to swap that over, but it's an offset issue with the compressor that's basically stopping us. So when I go to put the one that we need on to run the right amount of ribs, it sits on about there, which you can see it's totally off. The offset's completely wrong. So we need to change that over. It's a bit annoying because it still has gas in it, so I have to get that released. So that's where we are. Alright guys, so after all my efforts to try and not change the compressor, you have to change the compressor. You have to, unless it's like exact same model, but the chances would probably they're not the same model because of age of car. So I've got the EF, EL, whatever it is, one on there. Lines up to the bracket perfectly, lines up right on the belt where it should be. So we're perfect in that department. The other one's over there. Tensioner, belt, and we're good to go. So, which is 6. That's another thing closer before we take it out. Obviously after that we have a few more things we need to do. We got to just paint a couple things. We need to get those corner lights because she's looking a bit
sad.
I know. Is it no ears? No, maybe it's like not eyebrows, but like imagine if you just didn't have anything from here to there. Just there's a hole. That's what that's like.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the Nurophens cooking my head. Oh, maybe a rocket cover gasket because it's pouring out when it runs. But other than that, surge tank, rocket cover gasket, coilovers, knuckles. It needs to have lock. There's no way we're going there without it. We're just going to crash it. I know that will be funny, but I feel like it's such a pointless crash because we can send it so much faster and harder with knuckles. And then if we crash, it's funny because we had no excuse really. So a few more things that we're going to be doing, but we're getting pretty close. This was something I had an idea on, like, hey, let's do it. Haven't seen anyone do it, haven't watched anything on anyone do it. I thought I'll just try on my Falcon knowledge, and here we are. So we're doing it. It's basically done. So home stretch, good. Alright guys, we are on the finishing end of this, what seems like a big build. Quick rundown for you guys, just for those people who are thinking of doing the same thing or interested. So just quick rundown again. EF alternator, EF/AU power steering pump, EF/AU water pump, AU harmonic balancer because it doesn't matter about the sensor, EF what's it called, AC compressor, and then I think it was an XH Falcon Ute that comes with this manifold, which is like the EF Ute. You got to use the tensioner. So we've got a brand new tensioner from one of them because the angle here, this angle actually changes. So if you're running this style manifold with that compressor and you have the other, you just have a normal AU one or EF one of these, the belt will actually touch here. So there'll be no gap in between here. And it, yeah, obviously just rubs, so you can't have that. So fans will go in, we're gonna fill it with water and we're gonna start this thing up. Hopefully the power steering pump works, so hopefully the alternator works. First startup, hopefully it starts. I need some power steering.
Sounds like an engine, normal one.
Sounds good. Yeah, to see if the alternator is it's not on the light, so the steering has to be good. Oh, I think it's just that low in fluid because it had a leak for so long from the pump. And obviously we weren't changing anything until we did all this, so suss it out. Alright guys, that's the end for the party bus, doing the pulley upgrades and all that. There's obviously a few more things we need to do that will come within due time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let us know if it was helpful or not. Also add there if there's other things. So like we have to do diff, we're going to do coilover setups in this as well. So maybe let us know kind of from an idea on what way you'd like to see it from. So I mean, obviously we do this stuff all the time, so filming it's almost harder for us, but we're really trying to incorporate what we do, film it for you guys. So hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great week guys. Catch us on the next one. Be blessed. See yous.